Hello, this is Dalamar, the Mage, reviewing the Caligula effect. This is an Overdose version I played on the PS4. It is a really fun game overall, but let me go into some of the details. Caligula effect has a lot of Persona um, similarities. Your protagonist is with a group of kids who are in this virtual reality-like world where all your troubles are supposed to go away and you get whatever you want so you can be happy. All the people who here are high school students who have been through some sort of trauma and this is their way to escape. However, it wasn't their choice to come here. There's a lot of plot and storyline of what caused this place called Morpheus and how you got there. And you'll learn a lot more about the characters' backstories and how they ended up here as well. When it comes to the story, it's top notch. I really like learning about all the different characters, their purpose. Uh, it it's a little slow on getting to the point of the big picture of why they're there. You have to go through a lot of different dungeons to defeat a musician and move on to the next one, etc. Uh, but throughout that, you get these character um, interactions where you get to learn more about each one and their backstory and who they really are in the real world. When it comes to the gameplay, it's okay. Um, you get to choose your attacks for each person if you want, and it will give you a preview of your attacks so you can see how successful it's going to be. Of course, there is some RNG involved where you might miss and screw up your entire thing, or the enemy might do an attack that will disrupt you that you didn't see coming. But overall, it's kind of fun. You can play in harder against certain levels. Like you can kind of challenge yourself a little bit. The difficulty is normal is pretty simple. It's hard to mess that one up. Whereas as you raise a difficulty, there's a lot higher chances of you not making it. So if you want a challenge, you can definitely do harder versions. I just did normal for my playthrough so I can experience the story and get a good feel for the game. Um, the artwork is okay. It's not my favorite. It's definitely a turn off for me. Everything seemed like it was lacking in detail. The characters were pretty bland on their artwork. Uh, Even the enemies and everything, it's not very exciting. So that wasn't a big thing for me. The number one thing actually for Kegler Effect, and I don't normally say this, is the music is phenomenal. The soundtrack is very, very well done. The way they do dungeons, each dungeon has its own song that is on loop, and when you're not fighting a monster, there's no vocals. But the second you get in a battle with a monster, the vocals kick in, and it's really, really fun. It gets you into the game. It's immersing. There's a really big theme of music to the game as each boss is a musician, and the music, those songs are actually kind of part of their backstories and why they are the way they are. There is no real good and bad in some respects because of that. The musicians all had their own trauma, even though they're quote bad guys trying to keep you from leaving this world. They have their reasons. They're trying to protect their own interests and get away from a world that's traumatized or hurt them in some way or in shape or form. Um, like I said, the story is good overall. It gets a bit dry, and there are times where I wanted to just stop playing because I was getting bored of the same thing over and over and over again. The dungeons were dry, the fighting was dry, there wasn't much deviation, so the longer you play, the more you're kind of like, oh, come on, let's just get to the next story point. It's not a game that you want to grind. There is this thing called causality links. So as you walk through here, like these characters in front of us here, you can talk to them and raise your link level with them, and then resolve an issue for them. All those links are it's boring and tedious, right? You have to talk to them. You raise your link level to 3. You talk to them 3 times. There's nothing special about it, and then you can see what kind of needs they have, whether it's to equip an item on them or to talk to one of their friends, etc. And there's hundreds of them, hundreds. It's insane. The benefit of solving their issues is you get a passive boost to your character. So you can equip something like a higher crit or HP recovery or something balance of that. Um, but it's not amazing. It's very very tedious, and I don't have it in me to keep doing it after a short period of time. This game overall, I'd say is a 7 out of 10 when it comes to someone. If you're okay with the grinding, if the gameplay isn't your number one thing, but you really like a good story and you want to learn about the characters and you love that relationship level of like finding out why Thorn here is the way that she is and why your characters are the way they are. There's a lot of emotional to that. So if you're looking at like a visual novel in that respect, it's kind of fun. If you don't like grinding things out and you don't want to play a game that's 40 hours and 30 of it is a little dry, then it might not be the game for you. Um, Overall, though, I don't regret my experience. I really, really, really hope that 2 that is coming out later on this year is going to fix some of those things and improve upon them because I do plan on investing in that collector's edition and going all out on that one as well. Uh, there's just so much potential for this to be a much better game. So we'll see how it goes. Either way, it's definitely you know what? I'm gonna say 6.5 out of 10. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.